How's everybody doing, man? We're back with some cards and coffee. For those who don't know, this is Sergio, aka Crypto, and now aka I guess Monster and the Iron Mask. For
Damn
those who don't
it.
know, we recorded an episode last year, but he was newer to, he was green, newer to the game, and he didn't want to give away his place.
No.
So we're recording now. How you doing, man?
Shit, I'm chilling, man. Everything's good. The hobby's
Nice.
good, healthy. You know,
Yep.
yeah, everything's
Hey,
good, man.
first question I have for you, man, is what type of collector are you?
Man, at this point, I would say just strictly like kind of like a character collector. You know,
Who's your
uh,
character, man? For those who don't
doc,
know.
for those who don't know, I collect Doctor Doom, hence the word, the name Monster in the Iron Mask. And I'll explain that a little bit later when we show why
Some
that is,
pieces.
why I chose the name. Yeah. But character collector, man. Like I started with. I would definitely say like as a kid was into comics. Not so much like me buying comics. My cousin would buy comics. I would see them, but obviously like remembering comics as a kid. I
Mm.
think I told you like Ghost Rider, Wolverine, X-Men stuff. Like my cousin was a big X-Men guy. Uh, Spawn used to be pretty big into
Yeah.
Spawn. Kind of weird that I didn't get into Spawn, but I guess that might have been like maybe like fifth choice or something.
Yeah. So
But
how did you pick Doom? How did you arrive at Doom when you decided to be a character collector?
uh, I mean, Doctor Doom is probably one of the most common. Let's call it common, like villains in the Marvel world, like Marvel history, Marvel
Mm-hmm.
comics. Like he's been pretty much everywhere. He's fought everybody. Like he's like to me in my eyes, like he's the bad guy. Like you have other characters like Magneto, Mr. Sinister, other villains and like that. But Doctor Doom has just been like too he's too deep. His history is too deep.
Mm, okay.
And I didn't necessarily pick Doctor Doom like based off of that. For me, like obviously, like hey, I started collecting Marvel cards like regular cards, like the stuff I
Mm-hmm.
like I was picking up like Carnages, like base cards, uh, and then you start doing some homework and you meet some people along the way, and hopefully you get the good information instead of the bad information.
Mm.
And either you choose to wake up or you don't. So I kind of woke up to it a little bit. Like I've always been a big MF Doom fan. I love hip
Yeah.
hop, uh, and it was just like it was just kind of funny. Like MF Doom being one of my favorite rappers, and Doctor Doom obviously being the influence behind like the mask and like all that stuff. I
It
would
just
even
makes
say
sense.
I would even probably say MF Doom probably has a deeper influence on like me choosing like Doctor Doom than like me seeing comics as a kid. Because
No,
I,
it
I,
makes
I didn't
sense.
read I didn't read Fantastic Four as a kid. I was more into like the X-Men, Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
Spawn
Another
stuff.
question I have for you, man, is how has your approach changed to collecting now compared to how you were collecting last year?
Man, I think last year and the year before, I think it was a lot of hype, right? Like
Mm.
it was a lot of everyone was trying to jump on the train, us included. We're searching for big cards, and you know, I think after the well dried for a little bit, right,
Mm-hmm.
and the it kind of fizzled out. Things started to go back on sale. I didn't go back to the cards. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I could pick up a nice like trade or something that I'm missing, something, nothing crazy, I'll try to pick it up. But I think it changed in the sense that like for me, like I pretty much you could say I gave up cards.
Mm, okay.
Like the last card that I picked up, I'll show when we get to it. But like that for me is like the end. Like my last card is from 2014, Doctor Doom. I don't know. I
Okay,
don't
so
own anything beyond that.
okay, so that's why you stopped. So not so much because you don't like cards anymore, or you don't enjoy them, but you feel like you completed what you set out to get. In other words,
Yeah, and
nice.
anything else that's out there, I don't personally care about grades. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to go try to pick up every 10 of Doctor Doom base cards, stuff like that. Like you know, I have what I have. I appreciate what I have. Like it's gonna stay with me for a long time. Uh, you know, but the grade to me doesn't really matter. I don't need to go like gem like 10 like a whole set. You know.
Yeah, let me ask you a good question, man, because I know that you like all of us, man. You like the research aspect and you like digging. But what do you enjoy more? You enjoy more the digging and finding some gold, some hidden gold, some hidden
Mm.
gems, or do you enjoy getting a great deal?
No, man. Listen, the digging is the the one
Yeah.
for me. Like that's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like you're on eBay. You're researching a couple things. You start to get a little weird. You find it. Like you look around the room, like no one's watching me.
Yeah.
No watchers
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
No previous sales. Like stuff like that. You start doing a little bit of homework, and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you're even like, man, for me at least, sometimes I'm a little paranoid. I'm like, no watchers. I gotta see all these photos real quick because maybe there's something I'm missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. That's a good feeling, man. When you find something to your point and you're right. Like it's funny because you're either on your phone or on the computer digging, and you're over here looking over your shoulder like someone's with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making sure no one saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like so you make sure your phone's not tapped. These guys are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, so let me ask you one more thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say the that like I said that rush. Is like for me like that's the fun part of it. That's what I call homework. Because you could ask me like, hey, what is that, and I could just tell you, and you could try to find one. Well, number one, good luck trying to find one, and then number two, like like you shouldn't know that. You know what I mean? Like just appreciate that I show you to know that it exists. Spark an idea in the mind so you can pick your own character. I'm not saying it can't be Doom. I'm just saying pick someone else, and go find these gems. Go find these gems.
Sure. Now, you being a comic guy, mainly, like to your point, that's how that was mainly your start for collecting and your nostalgia that built up over the years. If you had to design the perfect Doom cover, walk me through that. Who's the artist? Is it a Virgin cover? Is it Kirby artwork? What is it? What is that going to look like if you were designing the perfect comic cover for Doom?
Man. So I'm a big fan of the old school, like traditional trade dress. I don't like the Virgin cover so much. I get it, like it's clean, right? Like I think especially from like the card world. I saw it, like people would talk about it, like like the cover match and stuff like that. I think the cover match is cool, but I think they did it more of like hey, like let's give like a super clean, like it looks like a card, and that's what it's trying to be. But I'm this, like I'm a little bit of like a purist, like I like things should be the way they are. Everyone has their different tastes, and if you like something else, man, like hey, like I'm down with it, but it's just my opinion. Like I like the old like the white fonts or like the weird fonts, like nice colors, like well, and I'll show you some of those covers like when we get into it. But artists and stuff, man, like that's a tough one, man, because I feel like I have an image in my mind, and it's in a card, and I'm like, man, like I want this guy to make this card because of the way he does, the way he draws. Yeah, like the way he executes, like colors and shading and dark backgrounds. Like I think he'd be the right guy for like this cover, and I think it'd be a good recreation, maybe like for a new comic, kind of like as like a retro, like throwback, like hey, let's pick like some of these old base cards and do like a recreation cover just because it's fun, man.
An homage. Yeah,
like an homage.
So to make it easier for you then, because you still haven't given me a straight answer on the artist, give me your top 5 artists. How about that? Is that fair? Top 5 artists.
Nah. Look, I'll give you the name of the artist and I'll show you the image, and maybe we could get into the cards.
Okay, that's it.
So, listen, I personally love this card.
Yeah, that was dope. That's
like,
by Nelson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 95 masterpieces. Motion.
And I think that you see that image, you who it is, Doom, and I think that someone could do that really well.
Yeah.
I think Bianchi could do that really well.
Yeah, that's definitely, he's really good at with villains, especially, or like wider body.
I just think that for such a dark image, like you don't even see Doom's face.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he can make his magic happen, and he could create a really dark image to make it a cool cover. But cool cover, like if that was a recreation, that'd be cool. I'll show you a comic, and this is like kind of like 90s. This is definitely like like early 90s. But look at that trade dress, man.
Yeah, that's nice.
And you know that I personally like love this like Dr. Doom cover.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four 406. You know, it's not like some of these other artists, right? Like John Byrne or Kirby, but this is just to me one of those like later comics. I don't like later comics. I tend to like the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, look at the. I don't know if you could see where it's just like something on here on the side where just like strange days, you know.
Yeah,
It's just
that
dope,
nice,
man. You know,
that's a dope piece.
and to me, this is like one of those.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say, don't show me other ones yet, though. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say to me, this is one of those things that's like, yo, this is a cool cover, and you can pick this up as like a collector, right? Not necessarily this book, but if you wanted to. And dude, it's inexpensive, you know.
Yeah.
And you can't most people that like cards can be like, yeah, yo, that is a dope cover, right? Like, so. Yeah. I think just my opinion, like, you know, you don't have to like cards aren't the end all be all. You know, there's a lot more out there, man. You know,
100%.
You start figuring that out, and like, you know, we talked about this the other night. You just kind of like you should be graduating, right? Like you should be like learning something, mastering it, and like, you know, dabbling in other things and getting a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned Kirby, you mentioned Bianchi, and I also heard you mention Byrne. So those are three. Well, give me two more of your top artists.
Man, it's so tough, man. Like to do like Doom.
Yeah, Doom only.
Sal Buscema.
Okay.
You know, I think he's a good one, and let me think. I mean, it's kind of tough, man, because if you single it out, like I can go old, I can go like a little bit more modern.
Well, I think more
you
give me
who I think would do it really well too. Like example in that card as well. EM Just, like, you know, EM Just is like a painter. You know.
Yeah.
I think he can do that really well.
Yeah, he's the one who did the Gambit on the modern Full Ultra Avengers set, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I have to give you like a modern one, because I don't want to just like keep it to the retro, like I'll give it to him. Okay. I saw that Spider-Man that he posted up. You know, I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't like the trade dress. That's one of the examples that you need a Virgin variant, because I'm not a big fan of the trade dress at the bottom. You know?
Yeah, he does some. You know, I haven't seen a lot of his work, but I will say, like, compared to the Gambit, that Gambit wasn't for me. You know, I'm very specific with Gambit, but I will say his the Angel he did, right? Or was it Archangel?
Yeah,
that was
it's a beautiful card.
Yeah,
like can you imagine like the actual painting of that? You know,
imagine what it's going to go for if it hasn't sold already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, or shout out to anybody that has that piece. I did ask you to bring 5 comics. You showed us one already, but if you could share with us your top 5 comics in your PC, and then tell me how you came up with these. Like, to your point earlier, you asked me, is it my top 5, based on value or based on my favorite, pieces?
Yeah. So the 3 that, I mean, the 5 and 5 that I picked, I show you 1 and 1. There's an honorary mention, so I guess those are the honorary mentions.
Okay.
These aren't really based to me off of like value. Some things have like their meaning, right? Like some things have their history behind it, and some things are just like, covers that I like. So I didn't pick like the 5 most expensive things, like I picked 5 things that I like in my collection that I think are pretty dope.
Nice.
What do you want to see first?
No, you show me, man. I don't know.
All right. So, I think we all love this one, right?
Oh, the Hollow Flash.
Yeah. PSA 9. Dude, I picked this up. I caught it on eBay, randomly, and it wasn't even like a second thought, I just like, it was instant like trigger pull, Yeah,
those are hard at 10, by the way. So 9 is good on those. I'm good. I have a 9 myself, and I'm good with a 9.
It's partially that, and this is, I guess you could say, like when I started collecting Doom cards, this was like the first like expensive card that I bought was a Hollow Flash.
Yeah.
Me too. So that to me is like a special card. You know what I mean? Like me and you both know, like, hey, like these Hollow Flashes and the pack odds and all that stuff. Like,
and shout out to have a Patelis too, man. Remember, that's Patelis artwork.
Man, I mean, just even the Hollow Flash set in general. Like, you already know, dude. The Carnage, like that. There's a lot of good cards in the Hollow Flash set. The Thanos is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are early examples of what are now medallions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but for me, listen, execution. You see the border, like the whole car design, like
It's
you
clean.
can't touch that, bro.
Shout out to the homie Doom. We were talking about this a while back, and he and I both agree that what it is like the less you put on the on in front of the card, the better. Just let the art speak for itself.
Yeah.
So in that one, all they did was put his name, and that's it.
And if you think about it, like unlike what we're doing right now, this image is for this set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is not a part of the comics or whatever.
Yeah.
Like masterpiece image. This image is from this set.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference. Like the stuff now is just oversaturated with like reuse like images and stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny that you showed me those two because both of those that you just showed me on the cards wise, they're both from '95 Marvel Masterpieces.
Both from the same set. Yeah.
Different artists, but both from masterpieces. Because that was one of the questions I was going to ask you as well. Is what are your top 3 sets for Marvel cards?
Top 3 sets for Marvel cards. 95 masterpiece, I gotta throw in there.
Mm-hmm.
2013 for retro, gotta throw that in there. And we're talking about like rarity. We're talking about. I'm trying to think, man. The last one's always the toughest because you're just like, man, like I'm leaving so many out.
I think you're forgetting, but I'm gonna remind you. I don't know if you're gonna show Rittenhouse some love.
I am gonna show Rittenhouse some love, but I wouldn't say they're I wouldn't say they're my favorite set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like my favorite set. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's tough. Last one's tough. Like maybe the Juiceco set.
16 or 92?
No, 16.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those are heaters. So 95, 13 retro, and 16 Juiceco. Yeah. Nice. And what about your top 3 favorite inserts from any sets? Just 3 of your favorite looking inserts.
I really like that Dr. Doom hologram 2013.
Yeah.
Like I think the set as a whole is dope. And looking back on it now, did I maybe pay too much? Yeah, I probably did. But you know what? I'm happy I have the whole set.
Yeah. Yeah. For those who don't know, he's talking about one that's it's a hollow either hologram, because then they called it Hollow Blast on 2015, but 2013 it's Dr. Doom with the Fantastic Four, and he's like he looks like he's on a glider, right? Like he's on Green Goblin's glider or something. But it's a dope image. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay.
I think that's a good one. I really like and I think it's just that for me the particular image, because I can't say the same about some of the other cards, but the Intimidation Nation.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously that link to the sports, obviously that's where like it originated, but the Doom image they picked and like the colors and the oranges, man, like it's crazy.
Yeah, he does. That was a dope one. And
another one, let me see. Just said last one's always tough, man, because you leave out so much. Dude, I kind of like the 75th Rittenhouse. Like I know they got the emeralds and like the the rubies and stuff. You get a nice color match on there. That's dope.
Yeah.
I like image like because you have like the old and the new.
You got the Kirby art and Oliver Copio, I believe. I'm probably mispronouncing the last name, but I think it's the same image as the 75th gold border in the front, and then the Kirby artwork is in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dope one.
But then that stuff too, like I said, man, like to lock it into like 3 is really tough, Like if you told me like 5, it's easier. But the 75th are the 75th is not the best Doom image.
No.
Can we agree?
Yeah. Easy, no.
Like I own it because it's like, it's like part of the collection, but it's like, it's not the best art. There's other better, better stuff out there.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, do you have the 96 Onslaught Doom by Jim Lee?
Yeah.
I
got both.
To me, it's in like top 3 artwork for him. Yeah. Just the artwork, because it's like you said, it's a base card. It's nothing crazy, but the artwork is ridiculous on that. All right. So as far as slabs go, I know you said you're not a big on grading, but just regardless of grade, just aesthetics and looks, what's your favorite slab?
Slab and like, what do you mean? What's my favorite slab?
PSA, SGC, BGS, or CGC now?
There was a SGC about to crack up on that one. No, it's not SGC. Man,
Stop playing with
that
BGS,
that
right?
that. Nah, listen. If listen, if you color match something, like I think certain things have their pros and cons. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can say what you want, like, you know, PSA looks like a medicine label, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, in the market, right, in the market value, like it does resell well. You know,
But remember, which said aesthetics, so not to do with
just aesthetics. Like if you
looks.
take away like all the slabs, BGS, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I like BGS slabs.
Yeah, shout out to Michael Salzer, Cool Card Live. He 95s everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But
he does, and then he sells some. Michael, stop being a bad boy. You know,
it's hard. I get you, Michael, but yeah, you've let go of some crazy pieces. I will say that Power Blast is. I don't have, you know, I've seen it maybe come up once in the past 2 years, but yeah, I'm gonna be reaching out to you, man, just in case you got a spare. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I agree with you on the slap.
Hey, and if anybody has it, if you're listening out there, you know someone that has it, you know, reach out to Mike.
Yeah. I think for Michael, he's specifically looking for the 9.5. So if you have a BGS 9.5 of that, he's looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to ask you is you had 5 comics you were going to show. You already showed me one honorable mention. What are the top 4 comics, the other ones that we're missing that you wanted to share?
Let me see. All right, so I'll show this one, man. You know, little homage to the Kirby King, you know.
Yeah, a lot for people in the Marvel card world. To them, they'll think the Stutzi promo.
Yeah, people are gonna think Stussy. Yeah,
yeah, that's a super clean one.
But this is by Steranko, Foom, issue 10. You know, I told Elusive and Doom to buy these. They didn't want to listen to me. You know,
that's false. You never showed me this book ever.
What?
No, I don't remember. I got the Stussy, so why wouldn't I? It's okay. No worries. Let's not make this about me. It's about you, Sergio. Let's continue.
No, you know, there's a lot of history in the Foom books. You know, if you don't know, look it up. I'm not going to tell you here. I will tell you though. You know, there's quite a few first appearances. I don't know if you knew that. You know.
No, I didn't know that.
There's quite a few first appearances. So you know, if you want to get weird, man, you know, go buy some Foom books and you know, pop them open and see what's going on. You know. You might find some cool shit in there. But yeah, like that's do you know a little bit about Foom or no?
No, I mainly you know this. I've been mainly on a kick for forums, but that's just me right now where I'm at.
Yeah, the Foom is kind of funny because it's like they wanted to make like a fan club, you know, like Stan Lee wanted to have his own like Mickey Mouse club, and he created like, you know, like a Marvel club, Marvel Mania, you know, and Marvel Mania, Foom, you know what I mean? Like they started making like fan magazines. So I think that's pretty cool, man. You know, like that's probably early on, like when I bought that book, when I started kind of getting into like weird shit, you know, because I wasn't buying a comic, I was buying like a fan magazine. It was licensed by Marvel, but it wasn't like a comic. That was like the most different thing that I purchased in a while. And that's probably like what sparked it, to be honest with you, you know?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Which one we got next? Let me see.
You want to see a card?
Oh no, comic. Let's continue. Maybe show me.
All right. This is a tough one, man. And there's actually 3 of them. I'm missing one of them, but I'll show you these 2 as one.
Oh, nice. The ones with Daredevil.
Yeah. Like I think, like obviously, like, you know, maybe I'm being biased, but I think if you pick these 2, man, like this, that's sick.
Yeah.
You know,
it's dope.
Like the colors are dope.
12 cents too, huh?
12 center. You know, it's a little like rough, but I got another a nicer copy on the way. So, you know,
nice.
Hold on to that for a while. And let me see another comic. All right, so this is, I would definitely say, my favorite cover, and I think now we're twins because you like it too. But this is Secret Wars.
Oh, that's a crazy one, yeah.
9/8, and this is the Canadian variant. So right now it's hitting at like a pop 3. If you don't know about Canadian variants, it's like 2% of like the total print run.
So only,
100,
yeah.
if
I was
like
gonna
100,000 were made.
So Pop 8, or excuse me, Pop 3 and the 9.8. So that means only me, you, and some other guy have one.
No, I have the Canadian variant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the 9.8 newsstand, right? And
Yeah.
you're saying there's 3 copies on the 9.8.
There's 3 copies of this in the 9.8.
So I'm saying I have one, you have one, and someone else has one.
You definitely don't have one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know where they are. You know what I mean? I don't really. I think I bought that more like instinctual. Like, yo, like if it's a 2% print run anyway, right? Long term, like even if the number went up, it wouldn't matter, right? Because like you're only gonna find like so many.
That's something that's popular. At least it's newer to me for sure, since I'm new to comics. But people that, you know how we rainbow cards, people do that with comics. They either do it by like what you said, they either get the standard, then the newsstand, maybe a prize variant, and then maybe they get into foreigns. I think that's dope. It's fun. I think it keeps it fun, especially for someone like me who I don't like a lot of covers. So at least it lets me chase like
certain things,
other versions of the ones I do like. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, that's for sure. Like, hands down, like my favorite Doom cover. It's a beautiful cover. Like, man, you've seen the sketch. That's amazing. Like the Mark Warnick sketch. That thing's like crazy.
Yeah.
And just like the story. Like, I've always been a big fan of like Secret Wars. So,
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, man. It's just like that's probably for sure one of the most iconic like Doctor Doom images like out there.
Yeah.
And then like the Canadian variant was just like a fun like collector thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, the senses might change. Like, if it doesn't go up, even better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, like at this moment in time, and I don't think anywhere like in the near future, like I'm gonna sell this stuff. So it's staying with me. Last comic, and I haven't shown this. I'm gonna show this like exclusively here. Like I know
Doom hasn't seen this.
Doom has seen this.
Oh, okay.
But like I haven't shown this like to the public. So
gotcha.
Yeah. But I don't think it needs to be like too much of a secret. Like for me, the history of what this book means, even though it's not like the Grail, like.
Oh yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah,
so,
that's a Doom prototype.
Yeah, that's a Doom prototype. Let me see if I can like zoom in on that a little bit. So obviously, like, hey, Dr. Doom looks a lot different than he does, post this, like in the Fantastic Four. But as you can see, like the guys, the mask is there, and if you see like here on the writing, it says like the Monster in the Iron Mask.
Yeah,
so
that's why you took over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that because you did change your name around the time you picked that slab up, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was available.
Yeah. No, yeah. And yours is a really clean copy for a 5. We talked about that.
If people don't really know, that's look, this got released July 1962, so it predates Fantastic Four number 5. Again, it's the prototype of Doom. It's kind of been like known for a little bit, like it's not really like there's a few of them for sale. There's probably like a little bit over 100 in the total census. But I mean, at a 5 and at the price that I got it for, and what's the price of something that sold previously for a different price, I was like, there's no way, dude. I can't let this go.
Yeah, and shout out to Leo, aka Free. He has the foreign version of that, the Mexican version, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, those are crazy to find, man.
Yeah.
There's some.
Listen, I'm gonna show you my grill piece. I gotta show you my grill.
All right, let me see what you got, man. I haven't seen this.
Last comment. You haven't seen this,
Yeah.
Nobody's seen this, but.
No way. Oh wait.
Jokes on you.
So there you got me. I really thought it was some crazy Miles. I knew you had a Miles book. I called that Doom. He told on himself. You see that?
There you go.
Doom's
listen, this is something fun. This is the Turkish version because I'm not that committed to this cover or Miles to pay the price for this book.
Yeah, you're more into Jaden than Miles.
Exactly. Like if Jaden was Miles, like dude, I'm all in. But I'm just not that invested in that book, so I don't really care to like own it. And it's a little bit more modern, like I said, that we talked about, and that's just like I picked up the Turkish version. It was like $40. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's like a check off the list, you know? Yeah, of course. Come on.
Yeah, I would have never expected that. Miles, wow.
You know, I had to pull your leg. I had to pull your leg a little bit.
Well, what else you want to show me?
Come on, dog. There's going to be a grail past Tales of Suspense. Like, come on, that's crazy.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna show me some. Yeah, I thought I knew what. You know what I thought it was? The one with the gold mask on. Whatever comic that is, with a white background.
No, not yet.
Yeah. See, I'm giving you a code. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you out here. So
there's just no way. You know, it's too early. Some people are crazy. You know, some people online are crazy as fuck. So. Yeah.
No, I get it. Hey, I learned that lesson last year myself, telling people what I was going after, and you know, not once did it help out. You know,
and you know, you always say like, hey, you know, competition is like healthy, and 100%, dude, like, yo, it is healthy. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
you know, like I said, we talked about it the other day. One thing I don't like is like the predatory behavior, the online predatory behavior of like, you know, overinflating prices and selling you know, selling like graded price for like a raw book. Like, stop being crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not selling like sell it for like, you know, $20, but it's like, dude, like,
and the
if you want the total number, right? If you want the total number, you need to go grade it, get the number, and then come back and sell it. You know?
Yeah. And
like, stop playing games. Like,
the unfortunate thing about that too, man, is that the people that fall for it is usually people that are new to the hobby, because people like yourself that have been around already know that that's not what we should be going for.
There's a lot of fleecing going on in the IG world. I see it, you know.
Yeah.
I see what's going on, but you know, we're not going to speak on that.
Yeah, no worries. Do you have any more comics to show, or do you want to finish off with the cards?
No, yeah, we can do the cards, man. So let's start with. Listen, I think that this card's important. I think that this card, like, you know, when you talk about shiny cards, like this card's definitely important. It was the first. I remember seeing the printing plate for this. Me and Doom talked about this the other day. Dude, it was like 5 stacks. It was like $5,000, you know?
Oh, that's a lot.
And thinking back on it now, it's like, dude, you know, like if I would have known better, dude.
I mean, we'll talk about that later, nigga.
Listen, you're crazy. That is the first like Marvel shiny card. And unfortunately, you're not gonna get like the color on here, you know?
Yeah. That's 91, right? 91 MPL?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
91 MPL PSA 9. You know, shout out to the homie Doom.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's crazy for selling it to me because it's like a low pop, but the pop did go up. But it's just like, dude, this is a hard card to get a 9 or a 10. There is no 10 of this.
Let's be fair, man. With the whole Doom situation, you know, let's be honest. We really just borrow cards amongst each other. You know what I mean? Sometimes we, you know, I got my Perna back. You know, I brought it out for your episode. You know, since you know I'm a little guy in the Doom collecting world. You know, but
yeah.
You know, for those who haven't seen this, it's a nice piece to me, at least. I don't think, you know, Sergio doesn't think it's like top tier, and I agree. I just like the execution and how clean it looks. Like it might be basic, but it's very well done.
Did you say that was? I mean, could it be that was Perna's first Doom sketch? Is that what it is?
It might have been one of his first sketches. This for Most 6, and this was a 6-case incentive for Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
So I had traded this to Doom, as we know, as you were saying, but you know he goes through some emotional roller coasters with his collection. So, you know this. We're always here to help him out. We're like the net. You know what I mean? Like, we'll catch the cards. You know, in case he wants them back, you could always get them back from us.
Yeah. No, of course. That 100%. You know, he's actually getting some cards back from me right now. You know, kind of did a little trade. You know, made some magic happen, man. Let me show you another one. So, I showed you a couple cards. I'm going to show you 2 more in an honorable mention.
Okay.
Because one of them didn't make the list, you know, but it's just like one of those like historical like kind of things, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this out here first. The 2014 Diamond.
Yeah, that's it's a huge card, yeah.
Like, you know, Rittenhouse out of 10. You know, like really dope. You guys probably can't really see it, but there's like a comic image like in the background, and then in the back it tells you like where the image like, you know, comes from, originates the story.
Yeah, super well done.
Super well done, man. The card stock is super clean, and you know this is a limited set, man. Like, you know, people don't really put respect on Rittenhouse, but you know, I guess if you know, you know.
It's okay, man. Again, not to compare it to any other. It's tough not to. I mean, compared to any other collectible space, but imagine like the first people that started collecting Pokemon, and there was a Charizard out of 10, or a Blastoise, if because Doom wouldn't. People wouldn't think Doom's like a Charizard, but for sure, let's see like Gengar. I think Doom would be like a Gengar, right?
Yeah, Doom's
Gengar's
collecting like Gengar. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and imagine getting a Gengar out of 10. People don't think it's a big deal, but I believe it is. And there's, to your point, you want to find another one, go ahead. There's only 10 of them, and we know where 4 or 5 of them are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, people don't feel the same way about other cards though, too, right? Like, there's a number of cards out there that aren't really getting much love, or people are just disinterested. I don't know what's going on in the hobby. There's some like weird stuff going on in the hobby. So
100%. Yeah, everybody's doing their own thing, man.
It's just it's a good time for us because we're not buying at like super premium prices.
It's a great time right now for collecting, just for straight collecting and getting stuff for your PC. 100%. I'm very happy.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people are selling a lot of stuff off.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, obviously, like when I show, like, dude, you know what the history behind this is. It's the first 2013 Marvel PMG.
And it's the only Doom PMG as of now.
Yeah. Can we leave it like that? Like stop. Listen, it's crazy. I was thinking about this too. Like before we got on here, it's just like, man, like 2013 Flare Retro is like pretty well known, right? Like badass set, badass inserts, like creme de la creme. And now the PMGs are in like the X-Men metal, Spider-Man metal, which is like a mid-tier product, right? So like, does that mean that moving forward, if you do like a retro, like, is it just PMGs everywhere? Like, is that what it is? Even if you change the name, like, is that like the new standard?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, remember, like, I get it. Doom always gives me a hard time about the shiny stuff. I even myself like the shiny stuff, and the PMGs are not in my top 5 of inserts for me. And me, I like shiny stuff. But yeah, I just think people saw them too much. Let's be honest; those are the ones that got the craziest amount of prices at the peak last year. So obviously the attention was going to flock there. Do I think they deserve to be on the top? I don't believe so. But again, we don't decide. It's like what how we always talk behind the scenes. It's like it's worth whatever someone's willing to pay.
Yeah.
So if there's people that are willing to pay the prices they're going for, then that's on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I always wonder, like, how did you think it just like stuck with like sports sellers because of the name PMG, and they just kind of knew what it was?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that, and then shout out to Cards of Metal Ian when he sold his green and his 1 of 1 from 2015, or whoever, I believe it was just 1 of 1 if it wasn't my bad, and the blue, and people saw what those prices went for. I think that's started the PMG craze for sure. And just in general, brought a crazy amount of attention to Marvel.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, honorable mention is not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite. But I just think that because I have the 2013 and kind of like the finish, like the big boy cards. I picked up with you. You were on the phone with me, like scheming.
Yeah,
you were scheming with me on the phone, or just
congratulations on that, bro. Again, that's an awesome card. Hey, and you deserved. Hey, look how karma works. You got it back.
I did.
Because at one point, for those who don't know, Doom made a trade with him or sold him his original Jambalaya, raw at that time, I believe, right? It was raw. Yeah. You traded back to him, and you ended up getting slightly higher grade than the other one was, or at least that's clean. You could argue either way, but. Either way, you got it back, man. That's huge.
I will say though, listen, maybe it's not my favorite because it's in a BGS slab. I don't think the BGS works with this. Like, I think I might just crack this in like one touch, to be real.
Yeah, I could see that. If it was a 9, you probably wouldn't. But I think the fact that it's 85 also bothers you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does. I mean, it's not so much I think it's the silver like ticket.
Silver level. Okay.
Yeah, because like nothing matches there unless you hit a 9.5, like you're not matching anything there,
Yeah, a 9.5 would look nice with the.
But that's like strictly BGS. Like I wouldn't put it in the blue slab CGC. I wouldn't put it in PSA. So for me, like just like the style of this card and the colors, I might just one touch this. I might just crack it.
Yeah, man, that's as special, or some people would argue more special than even the diamond, because some people say it's out of 15 or 20, and it's from 13 Fleer Retro. That's the difference.
Yeah,
as
me,
well.
me and Charles were talking about this, like, briefly right before the show. I was kind of messing with him, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, dude, let me, what's up with this fucking Fantastic Four jambalaya? He's like, nah, it ain't happening.
Give him some like Peach Momoko Gambit, or give him some like She-Hulk, and he's good.
Charles, I got you, bro. I'll put up the commission for you, bro. We can swap it out. You get two character commission.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Grasshopper. We'll take care of it. Yeah, shout out Charles, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, man, like that's pretty much it. Like there's a lot of other cards that I like, mentionable, notable mention. That's not like I'm not showing you right now, but the Mr. Wimpy, the sticker, like I just like the colors on that. And,
with his hand out, and there's like the castle in the background.
No, the Mr. Wimpy is he's like facing like left, and it's like orange. Like it's on there. I'll send you the link. But which if you guys don't know, like I said, like, hey, this is helping you out. You don't know what I'm talking about? Go on Google and Google Mr. Wimpy, and look at whatever cards are on there and have a ball, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I got two last questions for you, Sergio. And thanks for joining, man. The first one is, the first one of the two is, what do you prefer, card design or artwork?
That's a tough question, because like if you gave me a really bad card design but it gave me really good artwork, it doesn't make the card design any better, Mm-hmm. Especially I'm not gonna say like name of sets, but like some of the recent stuff, like it's just not for me. Yeah. The image might look cool, but the design of it, like, it's just not it's not for me. I think I like cleaner cards, man. Like I said, like I'm a big fan of some of the older sets where like a hit's a hit because it is, not because of a number or like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're talking about the 90s sets. Yeah, that's dope. All right, man. Well, the last one is, you showed me all your favorite pieces, but say for whatever reason, man, you're in Miami, according to yourself, there's it gets crazy out there sometimes. So if you have to leave your pad and you could only take one piece with you, because you got your AR with your whatever you need, your bug out pack, what card or comic are you taking with you?
It's no question that Tales of Suspense.
Nice.
Like, the old school.
Yeah.
Like if you had to take anything, like you take the oldest shit possible. Like this predates everything, so like I would take that.
That's a
because I mean, like I said, it's not my favorite comic, right? We talked about it. Like it's not my favorite comic, but like historically, like if you needed to keep like something historically to like show in some like crazy post apocalyptic like thing, I think that book would be for me, the one to take.
That's dope, bro. Any last shout outs you want to do, man, or anything you want to say before we end this one?
No, man. Like if we're on the grind, man, you know what it is. Shout out to you boys. Like a lot of love and respect to some of you guys out there doing what you do. And shout out to the collectors, man. I like seeing like those like obscure collector pages.
Yeah.
With good execution.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes the biggest difference, man. Hey, Sergio, man, appreciate it.
Shout out VP.
Yeah,
VP.
Shout out VP.
Your page is crazy, man. And I saw the Fox Kids, and I was like, man, like people don't put respect on that set. I get it, but that's like nostalgia at best. Like that's the Spider-Man that you remember as a kid. Like it's like the Fox Kids, like Spider-Man.
Yeah. As far as IGs, everybody has a different style, but shout out VP, because to your point, not only is it clean, but it's unique. He's doing his own thing. And also shout out to Andrew's PC. He's doing his own thing. So shout out to those people.
And Andrew's PC's page is super clean. I like the Dunruss, like the older vintage,
Yeah.
I like that.
He hasn't seen pictures. But hey, again, man, we're out. Thanks for joining us. And you guys keep collecting. Enjoy it. Take care.